rolling.
We haven't done it yet.
Oh, actually, one thing we could talk about is the mass email that I got from my. We don't have to talk about this.
Let's talk about
property manager.
Okay.
To the people that I pay rent to for my apartment, and it says at the top of the email, it says, "This is a mass email to all customers." I guess I'm a customer.
Okay.
Renter, all renters or something.
Let's say renters or customers.
Yeah. I don't remember, but it says this is a mass email. It goes out to everybody that this property management in the area deals with. And it's about how they're switching over to a new online portal for managing all those receiving payments and stuff.
Sure.
And it's pretty funny because it has a typo in it. And it says that it was talking about how they're going to, on December 20th, they're going to finish off the old portal. And instead of shut off the old portal, they're just going to
Are you
shut
sure?
off.
Are you sure it was supposed to be shut off?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was.
You think it was supposed to be shut off?
I think it was supposed to be shut off.
I was
ish
thinking
off.
shift immediately in my head.
I was thinking-
Shift off.
I think it was shift off.
Shift
Shift
off the
off.
new portal.
Yeah.
You think it's more likely for them to miss an F than it is?
This has a swear word in it.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't think about that because I don't really see that word as a swear. Sorry. So let's talk about holiness on that.
Well,
If we
yeah,
want to be
let's-
good examples for Ayla or for Ayla.
We want to
the-
be good examples. Hey guys, are you guys good examples? Do you think you're good examples?
I don't know, man. I think in some multifaceted, right? Like in some realms of my life, sure.
Yeah.
In other realms of my life, no.
Yeah.
Bad example.
Well,
but
I
you can only work on a few things at a time, you know?
Mhm. For me, I am a good example if nobody finds out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. As
No, I know
long
what
as
you mean.
As long as nobody finds out.
as long as most of
Then-
it stays
right.
secret.
Right. As long as.
See,
Yeah. That is how I feel sometimes.
there's part of that for me, but I think a lot of people know about my stuff.
Well,
I
Yeah.
don't get to be nobody finds out.
well, right. And that's the thing. Like, I would hope that
Yeah.
people know about my stuff too. But
Yeah.
also, like, what if they find out
Yeah.
Right.
about the other stuff?
Right. There's even more
confused.
stuff. No, there's some stuff that's
Right.
like, okay.
Yeah.
But then there's some other stuff.
Yeah, right. There's other deeper things that are like, if they found out.
Like you're like stealing, you're like shoplifting occasionally. That's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want them to find out about
Right.
that. But if they did, so be it.
Right.
And then it's like, I murdered a man,
Right.
or I hit and run. I
Yeah,
hit and
you were
run.
really quick to say right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Well, that's
He
the
said murdered a man, and you were like, right.
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 Correct.
Yeah. What if I did? Hey, it just helps me. It's balance, you know. If I'm
Yeah.
like committing atrocities over here,
Right.
I'm like a really good dad. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
look,
it's-
You've got to compartmentalize.
look,
Right.
I stole, money from the
Mm-hmm.
dead corpse of the man that I killed, but
Right.
I put it right into a savings account for
Right.
my daughter's college
I'm
tuition.
making 1.5% on this dead man's
I didn't
money.
just spend the money on drugs or something.
Right. Spent some of it on drugs.
Yeah,
Sure.
not all of it.
Well,
Right.
and
Yeah.
any interest it makes, I'm also going to spend on drugs
Drugs, right.
later.
Yeah.
But
You just
Right.
kind of like scrape off the top, let it keep kind of rolling there, making some money.
Yeah, a couple cents a month
Couple
for
cents a
drugs.
yeah, I mean,
You're a patient drug doer.
Yeah. Right. Well,
right,
you've got to like not live beyond your means.
right, and that's a good
Yeah.
example is moderation.
Right.
The bad example is that it's moderation about doing drugs.
Doing drugs,
But-
based off, from the accumulated interest from money you stole from a man you murdered.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, and
It's not, but like if you dig deep enough into just about any sort of, financially profitable. There's always going to be
Yep.
skeletons in the
Oh
closet.
yeah,
Oh,
somebody's
yeah.
being oppressed or
Right.
taken advantage of once you get to that level.
It's the cost of doing business.
Right.
Yeah, and it is just business. It's not personal. You
Right.
didn't kill the
Right.
guy out of a personal thing.
No,
it was just
no.
business.
It's
Right.
just expedient for the bottom line
Right.
that this man should lose his life.
Right. And the fact that he was an annoying neighbor,
Sure.
that's just, there are certain like opportunities.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That present themselves, and you have to really pursue sort of your available opportunities. That's
For
just good.
sure.
That's just good, like
Business.
kind of entrepreneurial attitude.
yeah.
Here's an opportunity.
Here's an opportunity. It's dark. Everyone else is gone
Right.
for Thanksgiving.
Right.
It's dark out.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll say that.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
So-
practicing his knife juggling.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You've convinced him to try out some precarious
Yeah,
hobbies.
right.
You
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, you've got juggler's
Whoa.
hands. you've got a real juggler's
You've got
frame.
jugglers hands, jugglers frames. Looks like you could probably stand up on like something pretty high.
High.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
juggle.
And juggle at the same
I
time.
don't
Your
know.
balance is amazing.
Hey, dude. And just to throw it in there is maybe another fun thing you could do. Have you ever tried knots with ropes?
Right.
Cool knots with ropes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do it sometime.
Yeah.
And you can use it to steady yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, but you still need your hands to juggle these knives.
Right.
So let's put it around your neck. dude.
Right. Okay,
You convinced him to put a noose around
Yeah.
his neck and juggle and like stand. I'm picturing him standing kind of like on an eave
Yeah.
of
the
a house
outside.
of like a large apartment
Outside.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where's the rope coming from? Hanging from?
What do you mean? Where you think there's nothing you could tie a rope onto, and you can't like thread a rope out of a window?
Or
Okay.
like maybe it's tied to a cloud.
Caleb,
I'm sorry. I just
Come
was.
on.
I wasn't. I wasn't picturing that. I was thinking inside. There. It's kind of
on something
cozy-
high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said okay. So it's fine to ignore the stuff that I'm putting in.
Yeah.
And the rope becomes central. The thing
Yeah.
you came up with.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's the most important thing. Not being on a high thing, balancing.
True. You're right.
So-
You're right. That I was just trying to go off of that though, Josh, because that the rope balancing on a high thing made me think of instead of using knives to kill yourself,
Uh-huh.
what if you're hanging yourself?
Right.
So that's what made me think.
Yeah,
I was just
no.
playing
So
off of
you're
what you were
already
doing.
moving off of the thing that's been suggested and just adding something
Adding
completely
something
different.
new. You're right, but I thought the combination of someone juggling with a rope.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Who
funny.
also his other
Yeah.
hobby
No,
happens
it's-
to be standing on rickety old benches,
Right.
and stools.
yeah,
Yes.
or fire.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah,
coals.
that's true.
Yeah.
Some people do have that hobby. Hey Josh, this is a
How
real
are you gonna get coals onto an eve?
Coles. That's practically Cole's natural habitat.
An
It's
eve?
on an eve.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a stretch.
Okay.
Well, hold on. What do you think is impossible about that? You put
Um,
coals in an ash bucket,
Okay.
a little ash tin
Yep.
thing, and you just carry them right out there. Now you got
put 'em-
coals
balance
outside.
them on an eve,
Yes,
and then you have some kind of rickety system above that.
right.
This doesn't make any sense. And then
Why
there's some
not?
rope dangling down from what you said, a cloud.
Yeah, I said a cloud.
Yeah, I don't love the cloud suggestion.
I just thought
A cloud.
It would be
What kind of retard are you?
the good kind.
One of the fun
the
kinds.
best kind.
The good kind that
Yeah.
kills a man, steals his money, puts it in the
Yeah.
savings account.
But I'm still a good example
Yeah.
because I made a prudent financial decision. But this is a bit of a sidestep here,
Yeah.
Josh. I know podcasts are supposed to have fans,
Yeah.
but I think it should be a different
Oh
kind
my
of fan.
gosh! Oh my gosh! This is a good point. We are running a fan, and
Wow.
I turned it off.
And
Wow,
turned it
Gabe.
off.
That was a great segue into a correction.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome. So it's been proven I'm the good kind of retard.
And yeah. So Gabe, I guess we've all got secrets. Speaking of secrets, guys, I've been recording the whole time.
Wow, Josh.
So
you
I've
really
been
got us.
shut up.
A real bombshell.
I've been secretly recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you're instead apart from this recording?
Right. Because I
You're
pushed.
also recording.
Yeah, I pushed record.
Oh yeah. Oh, no. This is that good of a secret.
No,
I thought maybe you guys would forget.
Okay.
that's not really secretly though.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't forget, but
I
are you
thought-
also recording this too?
Yeah. No, I'm. It's just the Zoom recording.
Okay.
That's it.
Sure.
I thought maybe you guys would gotten so used to holding microphones and talking into them.
We would just think this is normal.
Well, yeah. We do walk around holding microphones all the time so people know that we're podcasters.
Yeah.
We're just tired of.
No,
yeah.
I like to do that to just like pull a microphone out of my pocket and kind of like play with it.
Yeah.
The people
Standing
are
in
like,
line
you
at
got
the
a-
supermarket.
You got a microphone there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
no big
something I
deal.
do.
Tool of the trade.
Yep.
It's hard for me to stop.
Yeah.
So we are recording though,
Secretly.
both secretly and to our knowledge.
Advanced answering techniques.
Welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm your host, Josh. This is a podcast where you send in questions, we provide the answers, and the ways to do good answers. Guys, is that right?
That's right.
That's
I'm
Caleb, and here's Gabe.
Hi.
That is what we do. I didn't want to cut you off, but I did want to make sure we get.
No,
got
yeah,
the
that's what we
introductions.
do. And the name of it is Advanced Answering Techniques. And that's what we do. We
Yeah.
answer the questions, and then through answering them in
Yeah.
our expert manner,
Mm-hmm.
you learn how to tackle these questions.
Exactly. And this week, boy, do we have a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep, they're all really good. I would say they're all equally fruitful questions. And I think you'll see what I mean.
Wow.
Like, sometimes that maybe we should stop down and sort of like give a little bit of our philosophy of like what makes a great question.
Oh,
where
good
we
idea.
really have, where we feel like these are the great episodes. We have fun
Yeah.
doing these, and it produces a lot of helpful content for our listeners.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you guys think makes up a really excellent question?
I mean, I like something that is kind of day-to-day real life stuff.
Yeah.
But then a twist on it.
The
Hey,
minutia.
this is how when I go through self-checkout,
Right.
I do this special thing.
Yeah.
So it has a technique or
So,
something.
so you like a question that gives you an option. So like the question that would lead to that would be, how do you do self checkout?
How do you do self-checkout?
How do you
like,
personally do it?
How do you personally do self-checkout?
I thought you
Or
just
the
meant-
question could be like, is it wrong that I do this at self-checkout?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I forget that question. What was it that they were doing?
What they were doing was they were going up and they were getting the gun, the scanner gun that's at some self checkouts, and they were using that to they pulled it out and they went laser tag,
Yeah.
and then they went around and were scanning other people's items.
Yeah. So they bought a bunch of extra
Bye.
stuff. I don't think it's that. And if I remember,
They were
our
wondering if that
answer-
was wrong.
Yeah, I
Right.
remember our answer was like, no, it doesn't seems foolish.
Yeah. It's a bit of an non-conventional way to be generous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind
well,
of a
but then
silly way.
it got tricky because it was like they had a big screen TV that
Okay.
they put up on their self checkout,
Yeah.
but then they pull it out and they go laser tag and they go over and scan someone's potatoes
Oh, I see.
and then kind of
okay.
like hope.
Yeah.
Are we all doing this?
Yeah.
We're all doing this to each other now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's that.
Hoping someone
Oh,
would
you gotta
scan their big screen
kind of pay
TV. Yeah.
55 burgers, 55 fries.
Exactly that kind of move.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
from-
that question was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's a good one. Gabe, sorry.
For
it
yeah,
seemed
my
like you had
perfect
something.
question is one that has an anecdote behind it.
Mhm.
That when somebody shares an experience that they had, and then the question that is
Yeah.
brought up by that experience.
Yeah.
I think I get so much joy out
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
So much delight. So
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
just send those in.
Definitely. That's we love. It's really fun to start in that kind of like when they aren't fake. It's really
Right.
fun when they're real.
And
When they're real.
we're not trying to call anybody out
No.
for anything.
Why would anyone think that?
I don't. It's
I-
just somebody could have thought that.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who had submitted a fake.
I'm thinking
But
of
listen-
one person that could have thought that we were calling them out.
Okay, and
Yeah.
their name is.
I'm not going to
well, that-
name them.
Okay.
Slim Shady.
Yeah. Hello, my name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep him shady in the shadows.
Yeah, and there's
not
a
tell who it is.
slim chance of me telling you. You're not going to find out.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Slim Shady.
Yeah.
Does he need both? Anyway.
People. Someone should have talked to him and
So
been like,
greedy.
"Is this too many attributes that
Yeah.
you're kind of giving yourself?"
If you're trying to hide,
Yeah.
you don't. Do you need both?
Yeah.
I guess you could.
so greedy.
The okay, but speaking of joy, that has nothing to do with what we're about to hear.
Right.
Right.
Sometimes it does,
Right.
but sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes we'll let the listeners kind of figure this out for themselves. I think.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll help them. We'll
help
help them by
Yeah.
by playing the recording.
Yeah.
that we're
No.
talking about.
Yeah,
I'd actually
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Could we pause really quick?
Yeah.
I'd like
Okay.
for listeners to send in what they think this is going to be.
Sure.
Well, it's gonna be Oh, let's just think through some of the logistics on that.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna send this out.
Yeah.
They can pause the podcast
Sure.
and send us.
That's what they should do.
That's how it would
Pause
work.
the podcast right now. Record what you think we're
We're-
about to
we
listen
need
to.
by going from Gabe talking about the concept of joy,
Right.
and then me saying, speaking of which, that doesn't have anything to do with what we're about to do
Right.
here.
So now,
Yeah.
with that prompt, record, pause,
Yeah.
and record what you think we're about to listen to.
Yeah. And it's okay if nobody sends anything in. We won't feel bad. Let's listen. So we have 3 different audio clips here. Let's listen to the first one.
What do you do when you are singing happy birthday to someone, but everyone keeps singing louder than you?
Wow, they're having fun.
That's great. Yeah, just
Yeah.
to be clear, that's not us laughing.
No.
No.
At the question. That's
Oh
in
no,
the
yeah,
recording.
no. That's we treat all of our collaborators, which is how we think of them.
Yes.
Collaborators.
Yes.
Correspondence, even.
Correspondents, collaborators
From the field.
From the field, especially this one. So somebody was having fun, and the question was, what do you do
Mm-hmm.
when everyone is singing happy birthday to someone, and then everyone else is singing louder than you?
Well, I mean, there's the obvious
This is what I
answer.
mean. Is this is one of those things where I think you'll see this level of fruitfulness from a question
Okay.
matches the other ones too.
So there's not
Okay.
There's a lot to work with.
There's a lot to work with.
I
What
think
you're
there's a
saying.
lot. I think
Okay.
there's just a lot.
The immediate answer
Yeah.
is you sing louder, of course,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
You
That's
sing louder than they
obviously
are.
you sing
Yeah.
louder.
Yeah.
But I guess you could go the other way and kind of somehow keep singing, but motion everyone like everyone go quieter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Like you put a finger up to your mouth while you're singing happy birthday.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's really tricky because it is a short song. It's not a very long song.
Right.
Mercifully short. So it doesn't give you very much time to get that message across.
That's right. So on the hap, you guys
Yeah.
are all. You feel like you're pretty. This is our level, right, guys?
Right.
Happy and
Right.
and then by the time you get to P, it's getting too loud.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta catch it pretty quick.
Should we try this?
if you
No.
want to do it? Sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Let's
sure.
let's see what happens.
See what happens if
Okay.
yeah.
So
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
No,
Okay.
I mean, I think you prove your point just in the first. Yeah, it doesn't.
Exponential.
doesn't really work.
If everyone is under this assumption,
Right,
it's
right.
going to be a loud birthday.
So okay, but what the thing that I was trying to get to with this is what is the goal?
Right.
Of, like, why do you, is the stated purpose of singing a happy birthday song for all of the participants?
Right.
Is it you need to sing this the loudest in
Yeah.
the room?
Right. That seems
Because-
like the assumption of the question
Yeah.
And I've-
asker is that I ought to be singing the
I've
loudest.
never thought that about the happy birthday
No.
song.
Yeah.
I kind of just find a volume that feels appropriate for the room and the setting.
I mean, really, the only reason to sing Happy Birthday by yourself and
Yeah.
to be the star of it is if you're Marilyn Monroe,
Right.
Yeah.
singing to
to,
JFK.
to
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
was
that's
it
the
JFK?
only reason.
Yeah, it was.
She only says Mr. President. You think it's JFK?
Well,
I
it
think
could be a bunch of different presidents.
in that
you're right.
instance, she was singing to JFK,
Oh, okay.
who was Mr. President, but I think she was singing a retroactive and
Yeah.
future.
Yes,
just
to all presidents.
All happy birthday, Mr.
Happy
President.
birthday,
Which
George Washington.
she's been right so far.
Yeah.
They've all been misters.
Happy
Yep,
birthday.
that's true.
Happy birthday, Benjamin Franklin.
He wasn't a president.
What?
No, he wasn't.
He
He
wasn't.
had to have been.
No, he
He
wasn't.
had to have been a president.
No, he never was.
He was a president.
He was a president of electricity.
No.
He was
I
the
don't-
president of electricity.
I don't even think he was a president in the way that like Dick Cheney was a president
Right.
or whatever.
Like
you
the
know.
shadow puppet.
Yeah, like or
Like a
Nancy
vice-
Pelosi
Shadow ma-
is currently. You
The
know.
shadow puppet master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I
You
mean,
don't
it's-
think Benjamin Franklin
Honestly,
was
though.
deep state president?
Yeah. well,
Honestly,
that's a good question.
Totally could have been. And
Yeah.
Marilyn, but also Marilyn Monroe is blonde.
Yeah,
Okay.
Easily, I could have thought he was a president.
that's true. That's
Oh. So really, it was just
I think
Josh's
she
convincing
was.
performance
as Marilyn
as-
Monroe.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
as old Norma Jean.
yeah. Do you think she was also kind of going happy birthday like in her mind?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was
In her mind.
in her
Wait,
mind.
continue on. There's nothing to go off of. You stop. Like, okay, now what? Like, what do you guys have to say about that? What do you mean? There's nothing to go.
Sorry,
off
I
of.
was just trying to like. This is what she is sort of thinking this retroactively.
No. She was
I'm
She's
getting to
thinking
it. I'm
it.
getting
Okay,
to it. I was
okay.
just setting it up.
Okay, what is it?
She was probably thinking about pills or something.
Yeah. Do you think she was like, happy birthday, Louis Pasteur? He was a
Is he even American?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
But again, I thought through the lens of a Marilyn Monroe, she might have assumed that
Right.
someone with that kind of
Was a
intellect
president.
and power.
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody.
How could they not be president?
Somebody.
But wait, my point was there's only really one situation.
Happy birthday, the Wright brothers.
But she would still, if she was thinking that they were presidents, she'd still just be saying Mr. President.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Happy birthday, Mr.
She wouldn't say it.
President.
This is like her internal sort of
Okay.
dialogue.
Yeah,
I would-
because she is a blonde, but she can think one thing and say another thing.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
She's also an actress.
Yes.
That's
So
true.
there you go.
Yep.
This is the
But my
gift.
point was
Yeah.
that's the only reason that you sing it by yourself.
Mhm.
And then you should be concerned about your volume. Otherwise, you're singing it with a group of people and you're trying to coalesce
Yeah.
something into something
Yes.
that is everything is the right level. And so you're singing with people.
right greater than the sum of
That's
its
true.
parts.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. So the concern about your individual volume is only in relation to others. If other people start singing louder, it you don't want some kind of arms race that's going to result in an Armageddon.
And
Sure.
what we did was actually pretty good, but it would usually go worse than that.
Yeah.
When we did the example.
Well, it became unpleasant very quickly
Yeah.
and too loud.
Yeah,
well,
it's
I mean,
at
pretty
once.
good in terms of being a good example of why you should just
Right.
just kind of sing in chorus with everybody else
Yeah.
at a reasonable volume. I
Yeah,
think.
there has to
Yeah.
be a like self-sacrificial aspect to singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
It has to be something that you're doing for someone.
Exactly.
And
Right.
not for your own kind of personal gratification and glory.
And I guess
Thank
if you
you.
were doing happy birthday. Okay, can we do another example?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's
What's
do
the
another
idea?
example. Same idea as
Same
we did
idea.
before, but I'm
Okay.
going to do something a little different.
You're gonna go. You're gonna
All
do
right,
something
ready?
different.
Okay.
Ready?
Happy birthday, Mr. President!
Oh,
Yeah.
So then I'm still right
yeah.
to go that loud.
Yeah.
Because
to
I'm
explain,
singing to Mr. President.
You were singing, and we were
You guys
kind
might be
of
doing-
horning in on your thing where you were trying to
Okay.
Right.
just finally tell Joe Biden that's his birthday.
Happy
Right.
birthday. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I personally was thinking of
Steve
Ford.
Jobs. Oh, yeah.
No, of Ford.
Gerald?
No, not Gerald.
Oh.
The guy
Yeah.
who made
Henry
the-
Ford?
Henry Ford.
Oh,
Ford
okay.
himself. The president.
Yeah.
The president Henry
Yeah.
Ford.
President of Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. So
Okay.
I think
Jeez.
that question. I think we've. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said some. Don't worry about it.
Caleb was just talking about his favorite letter.
Oh,
Yeah. Jeez.
Jeez. Oh, okay. It's not just one.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, his
a couple
favorite
of
letters.
G's. I don't like just one G. You don't like money?
I love money.
It's the root of all evil.
All kinds of evil.
All kinds of
Okay.
evil. The all evils, probably the right way to think of it.
Yeah.
Technically,
Interesting.
all evils.
Well, I don't know about that because all kinds of evil
Oh,
is not all.
Oh, you didn't say
evil.
all the kinds of evil.
No, no, right? Because that's an absolute.
Yeah.
But it rather than just like a general
Yeah.
statement.
Kinds.
Yeah.
It's crazy what an article can do.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
English language, like we've
Right.
mentioned before, it's a pretty fascinating thing.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
You could
I think it's time to listen to, having dealt really handily with that question, it's time to listen to the next bit of audio that we've received.
Thank you.
Ooh, that's a fun game. Let's do that.
Oh, no. Wait. Ask that again. Where are you looking?
I look at people's nostrils and pretend that they're eyes. Ask it as a question. Oh. Okay. Do you, when you are uncomfortable with making eye contact with people, do you look at their nostrils and pretend that those are their eyes?
Wow, that's impressive.
Okay, so this is a situation where I don't know how this strikes you guys, but this is someone who doesn't feel like they can make eye contact with the person that they're talking to.
Sure.
So they have strategies for
Yeah.
dealing with that.
Right.
And specifically looking at someone's nostrils and going, those are their eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I just immediately offer
Yeah.
a bit of advice? You should just look at their eyes and pretend they're nostrils. That might be a way
Yeah.
That's
around
pretty
it.
good.
That's good. I like that answer.
Okay.
What do you think that's do you think that's easier? You think that's easier to look at somebody's eyes
I am
and see
doing
them
it-
as nostrils?
Doing it right
Right.
now, and it
Yeah.
is easier. I do have a hard time looking people in the eye when I'm
Yeah.
talking. To
When I
them.
do that, when I do what you just suggested,
Okay.
all I can think of is you got some kind of weird eye booger.
Oh yeah.
Me personally, you're
Just
looking at
anyone
me.
that I'm looking at.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
There's some things hanging
Just
out of
hanging
your
out. But that
hanging
happens.
out of your
This is
nostrils.
so. I have an idea who this person who's asking this. Do you guys have an idea who this person might be?
Yeah.
Who's asking this?
Oh, I
Yeah.
know who it is.
I feel like I know who it is.
yeah.
Sure.
So this is a strategy that seems like it would work for a short person, and I don't think this person is short.
No, I don't think so.
No.
If you're looking, it's pretty hard to get a line on somebody where I think you can
Yeah.
really convincingly,
Right.
unless their nostrils are very forward facing, like they have kind of a snub
mean
pig nose.
you gotta
Yeah.
see
You
the
have to
nostril.
you have to like get down like. I'm yeah. So like now that Caleb and I are sort of at more of an extreme angle, and I can kind of see the idea
Yes.
of eyes in the nose, in the nostrils. But it's,
Right, right.
it's hard for me to do that when I'm kind of looking at someone
Straight on.
straight
Yeah.
on, or even like
Because then
Down.
you're like, so you're
Down.
kind of like, hold on, let's have a conversation. I'll get on my knees.
right. Yeah.
And you, or
Yeah.
can you tilt your head up
Yeah. Could you? Hey,
while we converse?
quick question.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrupt the flow of conversation. Could you tilt your head?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the other thing to me was like, if I'm doing that, I'm playing this game
Okay.
yeah.
where I'm pretending that
Yeah.
I'm not. It's gonna be hard for me to even listen.
Right.
What is happening?
Right.
I'm just going.
I'm like, check out these
Nostrils are
eyes.
eyes. Nostrils are eyes.
Yeah.
Nostrils are eyes.
Yeah.
Nostrils are eyes.
Oh, you're just
nostrils are
thinking
eyes.
that you're just kind of as a mantra.
Trying to make that happen.
Yeah, mindfulness.
Manifest.
Yeah. Or I'd rather just look at someone's eyes. I do realize though, I will look at people
Mhm.
when they're talking to me,
Yeah.
but when I talk to
Yep.
them, I look away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I don't like to
generally my move.
maintain.
Yeah,
The eye
my
contact.
move is, and this is, guys, I don't know,
Oh.
but for me, and I hate to get like kind of personal and confessional and talk about sort of some of my vulnerabilities,
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Go on though.
but to me, there's so much information that comes from the eyes. I'm getting, and as a sense, like sensitive, this is the part that's really kind of personal and hard for me to talk about.
Okay.
Because it makes me sound like a friggin' like wuss.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a very weak person,
Right.
Who's like sensitive,
yeah.
but I am
Okay.
very sensitive to feedback. So
Yes.
when I'm talking to somebody,
Yeah.
I'm getting so much information from the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and the information is usually not good. It's
Right.
not like keep talking. I'm
Sure.
interested.
Yeah.
The information from the eyes is I don't want to do this for a second longer than I have to.
Right.
And so I do need a strategy. But my strategy has typically been, because I have very like eyes, I don't really have eyes to speak of.
Yeah. They're
right?
small.
They're small.
I assume there's more than what I'm
I can
seeing.
get
but the
away,
way what you
yes.
see with your eyes is a little
It's
bit.
not as I
It's
have,
a
I
sliver.
have I have barely any eyes.
Yeah.
And just two. And
just two and a little bit of those.
and just not much of those. So I can actually get away with not looking somebody in the eyes and have them think that I'm looking them in the eyes.
You've tested this?
I'm pretty sure, because I never look anybody in the eyes. I always look at their mouth,
Okay.
so I can see the words coming out.
Yeah. Kind of like a comic book.
When I'm talking to somebody, I'm looking at
But,
their
Wham.
mouth.
but what you're saying
Bam.
is you haven't
Yeah,
Smash.
yeah,
spoof.
spoof.
Whip.
Yeah, yeah,
But what
Flump.
you're
Yeah.
what you're saying is that you have seen no clear like adverse effects to only looking at people
I don't
in the
think.
mouth when you're talking or listening.
Yeah, I don't think people. I don't think people notice.
Yeah. I wonder if people are noticing less and less.
Yeah.
Because I do think more people have this issue
Yeah.
of just not looking.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it's becoming a real, which
Yeah.
makes me want to fight against it. It makes me want to look people dead in the
Right in
eyes.
the eyes all the time.
And maybe I have to pretend their eyes are nostrils to do
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
that's,
Oh, I think if you want to be a good example,
Right.
and I do,
yes.
I want to cultivate looking people in the eyes when I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
So I do make an effort, but it is as a very sensitive person who
Right.
feels judged so easily,
Right.
and who is judged because in my interactions with other human beings, they seem to not want to do it.
This is the funny thing, though, because someone like you would think that
yeah.
if you're talking to someone similar to you,
You think so?
yeah,
If I
they're uncomfortable, and it's just because it's social anxiety altogether. It has nothing to do with you, them not wanting to talk to you. They just don't like to talk to people in general.
But that's the funny thing is I do like to talk to people.
But do you feel nervous talking to people?
If I'm like,
But so then what your body language is showing to people is maybe you don't want to.
yeah,
So it's like the same thing,
Kill
back and
cracked it.
forth.
yeah.
You're talking to someone who would like to talk to you.
No, well, so typically I'm ending up talking to people that I don't want to talk to. Okay, that's
Okay. Yeah.
but the idea of having a great conversation with that's like one of my favorite things.
Me
for
too.
sure.
Man, I
love
love
that.
great conversations.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we should look each other in the eyes.
Yeah.
And we should actually, I mean, I think if you need a stepping stone, like you're saying, you pretend
Yeah.
the eyes are nostrils.
Yeah.
But really open those eyes up. Open those eyes up.
Yeah.
Eyed.
Yeah.
You guys know what I mean?
If you don't want to pretend that their eyes are nostrils, pretend their eyes are a TV show or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something you want to look at.
Okay, good.
Ad.
Yeah, pretend the eyes are a TV show.
Pretend the eyes are an ad you like. Like
Yeah.
a Super Bowl
Yeah.
ad you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, your favorite Doritos,
Oh, yeah.
customer submitted Doritos Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
Or
Think
you're
about
like,
that.
what's up?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Or like the frogs, the Budweiser frogs, or
Each eye is a frog
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
what's up to you.
Yeah, back and forth.
yeah.
And that will help you have
What's up?
good social interaction.
So wait, can we? What was the question again? Have we answered it?
The question was, do
you
you do
ever?
this?
Do we do this? No, I've never done that.
Yeah.
But I think I might give it a spin. I might try it my way too, with the nostrils and the eyes.
In the eyes, switch them up.
Switch them up.
Yeah.
So but I like that as a tip.
My thing is going to be when I'm speaking to someone,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep eye contact with them
Yeah.
while I'm talking,
Yeah,
not look away.
and while you're talking and while they're talking
Yes, the
Yeah.
whole time.
the whole time.
Now, what if Josh and I were both talking to you at the same time? Would you go wall-eyed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta split.
You'd go.
You
Yeah,
gotta
they
split it up.
I don't. I
Am I
can't do
doing
that.
it?
I tried.
Kind
I've
of.
been trying really
Am I
hard.
doing it?
I think probably the funniest
It's
thing.
a little bit.
The funniest thing that somebody can do with their eyes is go wall-eyed.
That's
And
pretty
I saw
nuts.
somebody do it recently, and I was like, I have to learn
Eye
how to
tricks.
do
Eye
this.
tricks are
It's
so
awesome.
awesome.
I can cross one eye,
Yeah,
and
you
keep the other
can?
one straight. I
Okay,
can
let's
do
see
that.
This is good. This is good podcasting, as people like to say. Yeah, you are doing that.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sort of. Not much. A little bit.
Okay, maybe a little out of practice
Yeah, yeah.
because I've
How about me?
been focusing on the
How about me?
walleye
Right.
thing, but
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even
yeah.
know how you do it. No, that's just both crossed. That's close. Yeah, I'd say that's about as close as mine were, but I
Yeah.
don't know how mine were.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's good for a first try, though.
Yeah.
That is something you claim
So-
to be able to do. That was something Caleb just tried for the
Yeah.
first time.
You've
So
never
pretty
tried
good.
that before?
Not really.
Okay.
I do cross eyes all the time. My son Linus used to do it inadvertently.
Yeah.
Like he'd be on the toilet
Yeah. Okay.
and he would cross his
Yeah.
eyes with these
Due to effort.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't. We're gonna have to edit that.
For a long time, I
right.
had
Or he would like be
convinced-
struggling to open a box.
Okay.
And he'd be like,
What was it? A box? What was it? A box?
it was a box of his own dish. Yeah.
Oh gosh!
Why are you doing that? He said.
I said.
Well, we all know.
Anyway,
We all know. No secrets.
We all know you can call food dish.
okay. For a while, I think, semi-successfully convinced some of my younger nieces and nephews that because I'm a glasses-wearing individual, when I took my glasses off, my eyes would go crossed. Because I knew this girl that would happen. She'd take her
Yeah.
glasses off and her eyes would go cross, and I was like, "That's hilarious," and I should try to convince people that happens to me.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And it worked. Like it was over the course of like a couple of weeks that when I would see them, they would ask me, and then I had to kind of keep up the facade.
Yeah.
But eventually, I was
is really funny.
found out.
One of the ones, do you remember in Ernest Saves Christmas? There's the big fat guy that works in the receiving or for where they or the big warehouse where they're keeping all of the reindeer until Santa can come claim them. You don't remember
I
this?
don't remember.
That's okay. It's okay.
I don't think I've seen.
I
this.
think our listeners will.
Okay.
He has the ability to jog his eyes back and forth very, very quickly, which
yeah.
also Josh, what's his name? Comedian Josh
Fatum.
Fatum.
Oh, yeah.
He can do
I
he
got
can
it.
do that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Really fat, like so.
Wow.
Eye tricks, going wall-eyed, crossing one eye, really
Yeah.
quick, jogging back.
And
forth.
for the listener,
Very
you
cool.
would know Josh Fatum as one of the video college student guys from Better Call Saul.
Better
Better
and
Call Saul,
Liz
yeah.
Lemon's
Lawyer.
Agent.
Agent.
Agent,
It's-
lawyer.
it's
Come on,
agent.
guys.
I'm
Anyway.
sorry. Hey, did you guys notice that I've been looking at your noses?
No,
No,
I didn't.
Boom.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
it works. It's
See-
proved.
Yeah, so part of the issue there is just that it could be you could just look at someone's nose and you could just look at their nose. You
You don't have to
pretend
do the
they're
nostrils.
or
I was
eyes.
doing nose, so I would
Yeah.
critique this a little bit and
Yeah.
say, don't worry
Let's
about
tweak-
nostrils.
Let's tweak this as a strategy.
just do tip of the nose.
What I'm wondering is, what if you're looking at somebody's nose and you start licking your lips? What is that? What are they gonna get
Yeah.
from that? If they realize that you're looking at their nose
Oh.
and you're licking your lips, is it like
I mean,
you're
it's
hungry?
gross.
You're hungry for
It's
their
real
nose?
gross.
Yeah.
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 That's pretty gross. But if you convince them that it's their eyes, then they're
Yeah.
like,
Then they're like, oh well, yeah, my eyes are
it's a
delicious.
delicacy in
Yeah.
some countries.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. Something that's bothering me right now before we move on to the next thing is
Please.
that I was saying Benjamin Franklin was a president as a bit.
Right. Okay. Right.
Like I know that there's no way. I know that this is fraud. I
Right.
did think it was funny to say
Yeah.
Benjamin
Right,
Franklin,
Josh.
and then you guys, it felt like it worked really well.
Yeah, I was thrilled.
I definitely thought that
Yeah.
because I could have easily made that mistake.
Oh yeah.
I could easily. Make
I feel
that
like
mistake.
we've said in the past that Benjamin Franklin was a president. I feel like that
We
was
might
canon,
have.
but
In the
I
joke?
have.
In the show?
I think so.
A
But
joke in the show?
yeah, yeah.
That's funny. Well, we'll have to remember that because
Yeah.
that was fun, man.
Oh, man.
that was. I was.
But
having
it was
a good time.
It was eating me up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Just
sorry.
to be show myself to be that stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
You're just
hard
being
for me.
vulnerable all
I'm
over the
so
place,
You're being,
Josh.
real you're being vulnerable about proving that you're not as stupid as we might.
Well,
have
no,
thought.
but I am. But that is it is hard. So both of those things are hard for me.
Okay.
That's true.
It's hard for me to go, hey guys, I was real dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That would be tough for me. But then it's also tough for me to admit that I'm that petty and
right. You need to right
I
now
do
tell
need
everyone.
to
I get
correct
it,
it.
man.
So it is canon that we think Benjamin Franklin is the president, but it's also canon that Josh knows that he wasn't a president.
It's really important. Okay, let's move on to the next bit of audio here.
Poetry, like favorite poems.
Yeah.
Like, is that a question that you can ask, or is it more like?
It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is 3 professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions. And so a multiple variety of questions
How
are
about
totally
how
fine.
Air quotes
how
in,
do you
like,
flirt
every-
chastely? Like how do you flirt without
Oh,
being
I like that's a good one. That's
Like,
a good
I was
one.
just
a slut?
Also, I feel like not.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so first of all, this person does a great job
Right.
of describing what the podcast is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I thought I actually just now listening to it, I was like, we are going to take that verbatim
Right.
and put it in the
Yeah.
description for the podcast and
It'll be
like
the
an
opening
Instagram bio.
sting
Yeah.
with some music behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. That should be part of that should be after I introduce, we should immediately cut away to another sting. We should go the
Yeah.
current intro.
Yeah.
I
You
start
say,
I say, "Hi, I'm Josh and here's what our podcast is."
Yeah.
all right, boom.
I think that's a good move. And it means a lot. You know, it means a lot to be recognized in
To
that
be
way.
seen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, real quick on that, that's a pretty intense word that was used there at the end, and one that I don't think
Yeah.
you can really
I missed that until this.
right.
I've
What,
listened-
don't flirt
I-
like a slut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you're just flirting, you're going to be pretty okay in terms of not being a slut, right?
Well,
Right.
This
'Cause
is
if you're
part of
just
my
flirting-
thing. This is part of my thing. Is they said, "How do you flirt chastely?"
Yes.
And to me, that misunderstands what flirting is. If
Okay.
you think you can be unchaste.
Okay, but
in
Yeah.
your flirting.
Yeah.
No,
Do you
but
know what I
chaste,
mean?
here's-
no,
but
no,
here's
but
the deal.
chaste can mean like tame or like it can mean something other than
Tempered.
just abstaining from
Right,
carnal
because-
delights,
Right. Yeah.
which is maybe worse than just saying sex. But
Right, no.
you know.
No, that's my
I
preferred.
like the vagary of carnal delights. Yeah.
The
Kind of sounds like a brand of some kind of candy.
well, it's like you if you're
that
flirting,
I want to eat.
if you're flirting very very suggestively, if
Yeah.
Yeah.
it has become overt
Mm-hmm.
that you are trying to initiate some kind of arousal
Oh,
Right.
whoa.
in
Right.
someone.
Yeah.
I that's a broad term.
Yeah.
I think that's you're always trying to walk a knife's edge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
In flirting.
Right.
We are men married to wives. We're not. Flirting is over.
It's gone.
And so this is only something that we can speak about kind of in hindsight.
It is really just
Right.
an academic sort of
For us, it
concept at
becomes
this point.
very academic.
Yes.
But what you are trying to demonstrate is this knife's edge when you're approaching chaste flirting of letting someone know that you
Yes.
are interested, that you are a passionate person. This is important for a
Special
relationship,
Right. That you're interested in their body.
in them. That's not necessarily an overt part of it. But you are trying to demonstrate interest. And then you are trying to demonstrate that you are not, by keeping things chaste, that you are not somebody who's out of control. These are
Right.
important.
Right.
Deep feeling
Okay.
and control.
Right.
These are like
Yeah.
you want to demonstrate both
This
of those
is where
things.
this is
Maybe
where
that's
love
like-
grows.
Yes.
That's like where you go, like, if you're going to let them know that you like their body,
Right. Which you shouldn't
also-
do. It's not. It's,
Yeah.
also let them know that you like their mind. Like, follow it up quick. Like, don't just let that body thing hang out.
Well, so yeah, so here's kind of what I'm thinking. Your idea of a good line would be, which is I really enjoy your shapely calves and your opinions on Israel and Palestine
Are valid.
Are right.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or like, I like your hair today.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Only a smart person would do their hair that way.
Right.
There
You
you
must
go.
be very smart to be able to.
That is a high IQ
Yeah.
hairdo.
Yeah, wow, I like your hair today. Looks like Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
It was really smart.
Yes.
Beautiful hair.
Yeah. With the tongue out.
With the
Yeah,
tongue out.
yeah,
With
yeah.
the tongue
Best
out.
picture of him ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The that's good. What I was thinking, this made me think of some flirting that I did, in my youth, with my. I don't believe that we were official, or maybe we might not have even been sort of actually like we had not actually spoken our mutual attraction.
Okay.
But with a girl who's now my wife, we went out on a walk with a bunch of friends, and we were walking, and we found all these plums that had fallen off of a tree over a fence, and they were in kind of an alleyway.
Yeah.
And we were sort of like, oh, should we maybe do something with these plums? Like make some like a tart, like make some kind of cake,
Right.
or a pie, like
Right.
a plum pie.
Plum pie.
Okay.
Yeah.
We would, and we were just thinking, what could we do with these? But then I noticed my wife was I felt like giving, not my wife at the time, just a girl I knew.
Yeah.
I was giving too much attention to another guy in the group.
Right.
And so again, you're trying to deep feeling and control. These are important. So I grabbed one of the plums and I threw it and I hit her in the small of the back. And pretty hard, like really kind of whipped a plum at her.
Yeah.
So kind of and what I thought that demonstrated was I'm feeling very deeply. Did you feel the real sting? Like
Right.
there was some momentum behind that.
Right.
But also I had pretty good aim, so my baser emotions had not altered my ability to take aim and hit a target.
Right.
That's
So-
control.
both things at
Deep
once.
feeling and control.
Deep feeling, real momentum, but also good aim.
Yeah. Good aim. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a good point. What did she do?
So she cried out in pain and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I just throwing plums."
Is that true? That's actually what you said.
No, I don't remember what I said, but it was there
okay.
was some kind of interaction where she was like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
And
Well, because that's
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
that's
good
often
flirting.
good
Yeah.
flirting can leave you off balance, and
Right.
you're kind of like, what?
yep.
Whoa,
What's
why
going
would
on?
someone throw
Yeah.
Good
plums?
chase
Do something
flirting.
that's good chase flirting is oftentimes going to be
Right.
pretty confusing.
Yeah.
Confusing or
Right.
even like harmful and abusive.
Yeah. I mean, I would say one of the best things is take their hat.
Yeah,
Sure.
If you're going to flirt
Yeah.
with someone, take their hat
yeah, or bonnet.
Yeah.
or bonnet,
Or
any head covering they have.
Right.
like
If they have one, like even if you're Jewish, take the guy's yarmulke.
or like
If you really want to get, if you're Jewish, take the guy's
yeah,
yarmulke.
just snatch it. Just snatch that yarmulke right off his head.
Yeah.
And if you're like singing
Play a game with it.
in choir, you're standing behind them singing in choir, you could like pull on their hair or something like
Yeah.
that.
That's too much.
Oh,
Oh.
you think that's too much?
Yeah.
Well, okay,
That's
so
like a bodily thing.
oh, okay,
Your
Your
the
body's
hat-
touching
the
their
hat just-
body.
Yeah.
That's not very chaste. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that this is something that will happen when you're trying to answer these kinds of questions. You'll get into areas like this where
Yeah,
you're
well, it's
like,
good
Yeah.
we make
You
these
try
mistakes.
something
It's
like
good
Gabe.
Gabe makes
tried.
these mistakes, so you don't have to.
Yeah, right. Gabe tried something, but we were pretty quick to root out the problem and to give him a little smack.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm going to take that on board and I'm going to
Right.
learn and grow based on that, basically.
Yeah.
So, that's instructive for me.
Yeah.
And that's only good for the show.
Right,
That's
no,
only a good thing.
It's only
Right.
good for the show.
It's not good for me in my personal life or my work life or
Right.
anything like that, but it is good. Is only good for the
Yeah.
show.
It's good for the show, dude.
Yep,
That's
that's
what
really good.
matters here. That's
Well, it's
the-
kind of like realizing when you're singing "Happy Birthday" that like actually I'll just pick this volume right here.
Right.
I'm not going to
Unless it's to the president.
right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and then you
can
sing
break
up.
off.
sing
Yeah.
up, sing out.
Sing up. Really?
Yeah, and you can pull the president's hair
yeah.
to flirt with him.
Yeah,
Take the president's
But Benjamin
hat.
Yeah.
Franklin doesn't
Take-
have very much
What
hair.
if someone? What if Mary Todd Lincoln
Yeah.
had stolen
that
Abraham Lincoln's
big old stovepipe.
Yeah.
Stovepipe.
Try and get me, Abe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're telling me that that Abe Lincoln wasn't gay because he
No, he wasn't.
wanted to marry Todd Lincoln. You're telling me he's
That
not
is
gay?
good. That's really good.
That's
Gabe.
really good.
Thank
That's
you.
really good.
I
Todd
just
Lincoln.
came up with it.
Todd Lincoln out there.
Yep.
Stealing his uncle's hat.
Oh gosh,
I don't know why, but
Well, then you can have different people
yeah.
don't have
parentage.
to.
and-
Yeah, be related just because
No,
they
that's
share
true.
The
They're
same
not.
last
He's not
name.
related. He was just so close to that family.
Right? Yeah, he thought of him as an uncle.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still not great. I mean, none of it's good.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Gay president with a big hat.
guys, we've covered a lot of ground today, and we've brought a lot of value. I think we can all agree to our listeners.
Right.
How do we want to sum up? And let's make it pretty quick.
Every question's different. Always provide an answer.
And I think
Oh,
that's
I mean, the same answer.
yeah. Provide the same answer.
Which, well, I don't think we did.
We definitely do.
Well, look, we're learning. We are experts
There
and
we go.
professionals.
Right, we're willing to be
But-
vulnerable and show you
And
for
this
your benefit.
might even be wrong, what I just said.
yeah,
Right.
that we're
The
professionals.
idea that we would do a podcast where we're always going to
Yeah.
provide the same answer
Yeah.
is not really tenable.
Yeah.
And so it's probably wrong.
but we do try to.
Right.
We are going to try
We're
to.
attempting.
we'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Figure
we
out.
we're so thankful for our listeners. That's the other takeaway.
Yeah.
So thankful for collaborators.
Our collaborators, our
Collaborators.
listeners.
Yeah.
If you have a question, you can send that to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. We're looking for an audio file that we can play to our listeners, and other collaborators out there. Caleb, did you have something?
Well, I was just going to say, take the initiative because it sounded like someone was interviewing other people
Yeah.
who might not
Yes.
have done that. So if you are someone who, brings questions to us,
Yeah.
feel free to go ask questions of people around us.
I like it.
Have these correspondences.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And if you live
Yeah.
in the same state that we live in, it is only one party has to consent to audio recording.
right, you can
So you can be the party consenting to the audio recording and record other people.
And
it's-
I don't even know how much that affects us because
It's true.
once we get the audio and play it,
We're
it's
just
just our
playing it.
audio that we're playing.
Which is
Right.
why we
So I
have
don't even know if
made
it
attempts
affects
to conceal the identity of the person that sent this
Yeah.
this recording.
some
in.
attempts. Yes.
And also, I'm
Yeah.
not a lawyer, so go see a
I
lawyer.
did call a lawyer's office.
Caleb
about
called a
this.
lawyer and recorded it.
surreptitious.
I did. I did.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that was a good one.
yeah, those were the good old days.
Those were the good old days. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with us, Gabe. Thanks, for
Josh,
being a part
thank
of the
you for
podcast.
being part of the podcast, for hosting us
Yeah.
here, and
All
Caleb,
right.
thanks for
Hand
being
in
part of the podcast.
And Gabe,
hand out.
yep.
Welfare.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't have to think twice about looking in your eyes. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You think there's nothing to it. I'm not gonna do it. I come to see. Eyes are too alive for me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You claim there's nothing to it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.